Welcome to SimNation podcast with Fallon and Pablo and Jan. And I sound like crap.
That was a very good improvisation. Yeah, both of them are sick, so it's basically just me and laughing at their condition. So this week we have illness, sickness, no news. We got something to talk about, and everybody's out in holidays, so what are we going to be talking about? But
I think
even my Christmas decorations are sick. They fell down. Outside. I already have half of them.
I never had any in my room. I learned something from... You have nothing. Because you're not festive. I learned something...
one mistletoe.
And I have a card from Jan.
And he has a...
What's that mistletoe for, Pablo? Because nobody's coming over your house.
It's there in case I ever come over. Because we all know he secretly wants me.
Dun, dun, dun. On the next episode of the SimNation podcast.
Gross. Jan's going to start weightlifting. And then by the next episode, he'll be ripped and it'll be like Veronica getting around naked.
Fallon, I get out of bed in the morning. My exercise ends there.
I saw this picture of Jan's ideal. But
there's a sit-up. Getting out of bed.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I go to the gym sometimes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I haven't gone in a long time though because it requires me to get up early.
All I do is this.
Even though it's 24
What do you call
hours.
this in English? Pull-ups? When you have like a bar.
Pull-ups, yes. But I do everything. I do arms and stomach and legs. Although my legs, get a little. You can do your biceps.
I go and eat this box of cookies.
And then you do this for your biceps.
Like better.
And then your triceps.
Rather do that. Wouldn't it be cool to get fitter as you eat? That'd be awesome.
I've gained weight. I am completely and utterly happy with that.
You should invent a new type of food that when you eat it, it actually gets you in shape. Or it could be called organic food. Like vegetables. No, Pablo wants to eat a cheeseburger and get ripped.
Right. I hear somebody screaming in the background like, just go to the gym, you slacker.
Well, I'll go to that would be so hilarious if we had like a podcast from like a location themed podcast, but we'd have to be on our phones or I don't know how that would work, or laptops.
I used to
Wi-Fi.
go to the gym. I used to go to the gym a lot, like 3 times a week.
Me too.
It'd be like the podcast from the locker room.
I stopped dating that person, and I stopped going to the gym because I couldn't be bothered to go on my own.
Yeah.
Oh, well, by then, though, your body should get used to working out, so you kind of like want it. Like, I want to go. It's a lot of hard work, but you're like, like getting...
No, it's fun after you get out of the gym. You're really pumped, and you're like, oh my God, that was an awesome session.
Yes.
But then the next time you have to go, you're kind of like...
I don't want to do that. Yeah, it is amazing because it totally gets you active. But the whole process of convincing yourself to stand up and then go all the way there and then do all that effort. Damn. I don't even go to the gym anymore. I just do that at home because... Huh?
Go to the gym for what? Pain the next day everywhere.
Yeah, you got to work out so hard that like you can't even laugh without being like, oh God, please stop making me laugh. It hurts so much.
I talked to my cousin and we laugh so much that my stomach hurts. And see, I have no need to go to the gym.
That just ripped you.
Oh.
You know what they should do? Gyms that produce energy. I see a bunch of people just wasting energy in those machines. That should produce some energy.
Especially the bikes.
No, that's called slave labor.
No, but
come to
look at it this way: the more energy you produce, the less you pay.
Bike.
Isn't that cool? The more you produce, the less you pay.
That would backfire. There'd be people that would end up like passing out or like hurting themselves.
Well, who cares? They're going to the gym anyway.
People do that anyways.
Yeah.
Horrible.
People do that already.
Horrible.
Might as well get paid for it.
Terrible. Did you guys you didn't even see the thread that James posted because he was too lazy. And it asked, I switched topics because I feel like it.
It's all right.
That asked what games we should play for the SimNation.
Oh, that one. I saw it, but I couldn't be bothered to reply.
You never can be bothered.
For goodness sakes, just use a damn VOP and then have it speak it and have it type for you. Crazy.
The thing is, I usually see it while I'm at work, and then I'm like, well, I can't reply now. I'll reply later, and then I just forget.
Why? You should use your big old phone to go to the Discuss website.
This is really good. The titles to play on YouTube. Listen up. It's Fallon posted From Dusk.
I replied all the ones that we already talked about.
SimCities. Not SimCity.
All the different kinds.
All of them.
All the different kinds.
The fuck?
All of them.
Tycoon.
They made like what? They made like 30 SimCity. You can play all of them. SimCity 2000 is on the house on Origin right now. They're trying to get rid of that. They're really trying to get rid of that game. They had it on sale. Now it's free. They've had it on sale like for 3 months.
1990 freaking 3. It's like, come on, just like who's gonna pay? I mean, yeah, people pay, but just like give it for free.
You see like the picture, like the snapshot of the city, and I'm like, this looks like my Windows 98 computer. No, I'm not getting this.
No, it's still like
I don't care if it's
classic,
free.
But yeah. It's only if you played it, you have nostalgic value with it. That's pretty much. It's not for like, oh, I'm going to get it started in SimCity, so I better start from the beginning. No, to actually start from SimCity 4.
No, it doesn't work like that because they're not continuous. You just get the best one.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, it's very debatable which is the best one because SimCity 4 has the most depth simulation, but...
SimCity 4 is so good.
Yeah, but the new SimCity is object-based simulation. That game ruined all SimCity.
Is so shit.
You hate it, but I like it.
Just because you're a simulation whore.
Okay, but
if you're too bored to play with the cities, you can be like Pablo and Jan and play with the universe.
Yes.
Segue.
That was a good segue.
That was very good. Might as well. Yes, we are. Yeah, we're gonna be releasing a quick look soon about a game we just got to review, and that is Sandbox Universe. And
Universe Sandbox 2.
Oh yeah, but this
they
is
don't want
awesome.
me to...
Universe Sandbox 2, actually. Or Square.
There was a previous version. It's still on Steam, but the new one is being developed, and I think it's in early access or something on Steam. We got some review codes from the developers. They're amazing. We thank them very, very much.
Yes.
They used them all before I could get one. Even though it's okay.
You're like, what is this your guys talking about? I don't know.
All I see is 3,000 messages, and I'm like, okay. 3,000 messages. I scroll to get to the end, and I'm like, okay. I don't know what happened during this conversation.
I mean, this thing is not really a game. There's no achievements or goals, but it's more like a thing to play with. To play test. What if we had 2 suns? What if we have 3 moons? What if we just slightly move the Earth here and see what happens? What if it's a supernova? You can like simulate and see all that. You can change the properties of the planets. It is interesting on its own, but it's very nerdy, if you may, because it's a lot of physics. You gotta know some physics to really get something out of this. Otherwise, you're just clicking stuff. And for
which is still
I'm doing it too.
But
yes,
the simulation is quite in depth and it simulates really well. So it will actually change the simulation and the rotation of planets and stuff like that based on their mass and the power of their gravity and on their composition. And if you just tilt the rotational axis slightly, you'll see what happens to parts of the Earth. And it's very in depth. And you can create huge, gigantic nebulas by making supernovas.
Yeah.
And
out of nowhere, like you just change the value. Like, you know how many suns I turn into that? Just like, what happens if I make it like older? What happens if I make it bigger? Like.
They should still add something, though, so that you, like what I said before, you can kind of see, like, I mean, I'm sure you can come up, if you can come up with math to make a universe simulation game, you can come up with math to like propagate like all of the different scenarios. Like say, like I asked, about the moon. You should have something that says like, okay, you move the moon further away from the Earth, so then theoretically, like all life on Earth dies or something. Or like you move the sun closer to simulation. Not like that, but you can come up with equations that would give you like a theoretical or like something that would be realistic.
But there is a visual representation of that. Like if you move the sun slightly closer to the sun, you would see the temperatures rise and you would see the ice caps melting and you would see the water evaporating eventually.
Yeah.
So
actually,
if
you have a planet moving nearby the sun, you see like all the water just leaving the planet. It just...
Or so like if I were to change like the position of Mars and Earth, would Mars become like populated? Then would it show me in the game?
Planet you can actually habitate if you may. Yeah, you can turn something into habitable. Yeah, I did it a lot of times actually.
Yeah, you can. And it's quite fun. It does require quite a bit of fiddling. But it does help you. It does. You can have a visual representation of the Goldilocks zone, which is the zone around the star where life is possible. And it's a lot easier to do that. Like I moved Jupiter where Earth is, actually slightly further away from where Earth is, and turned it into a new super Earth. It was amazing. And then
what I learned from Magic School Bus? But the gravity is different on Jupiter.
Oh yeah, different.
Isn't it like much more gravity?
Yeah, but you can change the mass and the composition.
You'd be like everyone would be on Jupiter, but they'd be crawling. Like I can't stand up. The gravity is so.
By the way, what you're looking at the video right now on the side, those are watching the podcast, is basically I set up to put two suns, and now they're just looking at each other. They're just gonna collide each other imminently.
You fucked up with the gravity. We should do one.
But Jan got a different result. I wonder why. Mine are like seeking each other while he's just like spinned away from. Okay, that just exploded.
Well, it's because the gravity of the sun is pulling in.
No, but we got two different results. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying he probably put them the same.
I think it depends how far apart you put them.
Wait.
And
you know why?
What you made them orbit.
That's why, because I said it as still planet. You maybe said it as orbit. So they started to orbit around each other.
Yeah. I said the suns, so that each of the suns, they orbited each other. Mm-hmm. Like the new sun orbited the old one, and the old one orbited the new one, which means that they just kind of started turning and went away, and the entire solar system was just kind of left behind.
And then we'd all die.
All the planets sort of like
Mars eventually crashed into one of them.
Oh, nice.
And then Saturn into the other one, and it all went supernova.
When my voice is better, you should do have a whole thing, like plan it out and make like a thing that I can read, and I'll be like, in a galaxy far, far away.
No, we're just gonna record a video of stuff happening, and then you're gonna have to watch it, and on first watching comment on what's happening.
In Pablo's galaxy, two suns collided and destroyed the universe. The Pableans.
And then you'll just be, holy shit, is that a teapot?
The Pableans then traversed to save themselves to the tennis ball moon that was closest to them.
There's a tennis ball moon, by the way. I put that there.
And they're called Pableans because Pablo created them.
No.
I think one of the best results and one of the funniest results is when I made two Earths orbit each other, but still orbit the sun.
Oh, yeah? So they're going like this and around the sun?
And around the sun.
Right, because that's basically what happens with the moon, but in this case, since they have the same mass, it would be like more balanced, more equal.
No, it's actually worse.
Did they crash into each other?
No, they don't crash into each other, but Mars was pulled into them.
Oh, right.
Oh, God.
It's interesting how gravity works, right?
Technically, couldn't you just like have far enough, like, so here's the sun.
Because that's sort of like the gravity of the two things, right?
And then have like the Earth, and then just like, pull all the planets into that same ring, so they're just going like this.
You would, but the difference of mass and the speed of rotation around the sun would increase with the mass of the planets, and they would just start colliding. It would be like a big pile. It would just be doom, 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 boom, supernova.
No, we don't want that. But I want to make. What did I say? What's Piccolo's home planet? Nah, it starts with an N. But he has 3 suns.
Nerth.
No, it's not Nerd. No, it's Piccolo.
You could make a thing with 3 suns.
I can't remember. My Dragon Ball Z knowledge is leaving me.
Well, you could if the middle sun was the biggest and the 2 orbiting it were smaller and not on the same elliptical path. Technically,
Namek. That's what it's called. Namek.
One could orbit it horizontally, and one could orbit it vertically. That would work.
Do it. I want to make a Namek. They only have men, and men give birth to other men. Namekians.
You could technically have more than 3 suns orbiting each other.
There's one experiment where there are 3 suns, stars, if you may, going on a 8 figure. They are balanced pretty much, but they're moving fairly fast, I think. The simulation wasn't going fast, and they were moving fast.
Well, wouldn't only one be moving in an elliptical figure? Because you would have to have 2 central ones if you wanted to make an 8.
I cannot remember now.
I haven't seen that.
Didn't you just say that there were 3 suns and they were moving in a figure? I don't know.
I can look it up.
Stuff.
Yeah, there were 3 suns. He says there were 3 suns moving in an 8 figure, but that kind of doesn't work because you'd have to have 2 stationary suns and one moving in between them in an 8 figure.
Maybe that's what he meant. Pablo, he doesn't speak English.
Shut up. Let me look it up. I have it right here. I have the video. And
I get sympathy points because Pablo's already made fun of me like 4 times for having
fun of me all the time.
For having a sick voice. You're just so easily to make fun of.
Can I find it? Where is it? The 8 figure. I'm showing a huge dice colliding a tennis ball. But no, it's beyond that part. Let's see.
Magic school bus.
It can be really fun to collide things. Like I collided the moon into the Earth a few times, and it just kind of destroys everything, and Earth becomes a dead planet, which is fun.
I see the galaxies colliding. That is really good.
That's a really nice simulation.
It is really nice. You have to lower the accuracy because it goes like super slow.
The Moon Kingdom. Where Sailor Moon was from.
Whoa.
What else?
How can you not watch Sailor Moon?
I didn't watch it. Because I had a wee-wee.
What? Just because you're a boy. I used to watch Dragon Ball Z and I'm a girl.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Dragon. What's a dragon?
Show.
Dragon Ball Z! Okay. Anyways. Yeah.
I'm too old for this shit.
How would you make life on the moon? Or would it not be life because it's a moon?
How do you make a moon a planet?
I increased the mass, by the way. But I didn't know. I didn't figure out how to make it an atmosphere yet. That's just a riddle for me.
Creating an atmosphere on a planet is really difficult, and I need to find how to do it in the first Universe Sandbox because I'm guessing it's a similar method. But creating an atmosphere is weird for some reason. There's no button, just like create atmosphere. Yeah,
because you have to change some values, but they're so physics-ish. Like, it's not friendly, if you may. It's as friendly, I guess they could make it, but it's still very technical. So you have to learn.
Missing some sort of because an atmosphere is held in by a rotating molten core of a planet, and like Mars doesn't have that, and the Moon doesn't have a molten core either. That's why it has no atmosphere.
I found the 8. Okay,
you should
3 stars moving.
So you have to affect the actual properties of the thing, like the moon. You'd have to make it.
Yeah, you can add water to it and organic life to it, but you can't. At least they haven't found it yet. How to create a rotating molten core?
But like Jupiter and like Venus has an app. Oh, I don't know. So why does it? It's too much science. I'm not that smart.
Venus has a rotating molten core. That's why it has an atmosphere.
It just happened so when the universe blew up and banged itself into existence, these chunks of things had cores.
So Pablo, it's two suns rotating around each other and then one just rotating in between them, right?
No, it's actually 3 making an 8. All 3 are following the same path, but in delay, in perfect separation.
But they need to have something to...
I know. That's what I'm not sure what's going on. Let me check
I'll have to find that
the speed of the simulation. It's one it's one of those. But the speed of the simulation
you can't just have stuff
10 days a
floating.
second. So they move fast because they're going like. That's fast. 10 days a second.
You know what? I'm gonna load up the Universe Sandbox now. Again,
they'd have to have some sort of gravitational pull for them to even change course.
I guess it's so well balanced that they just automatically keep pulling each other in.
No, but there has to be some sort of a... No, it doesn't work that way, Pablo. Stop trying to make me break the rules of physics. It doesn't work that way. There has to be something. Maybe they're orbiting black holes.
Well, Pablo didn't make the figure 8.
Home. Open.
Well, it is a game, so maybe there's like maybe there's stuff you can do in it that's not actually possible.
No,
like tennis balls as moons.
Yeah, but that's basically like a texture planet. That's all it is. It's a planet that looks like a tennis ball.
Mom, what is that in the sky? It's a tennis ball, dear.
It's gonna kill us all.
Wait, I can't... It's one of the experiments, right? Or is it one of the tests?
Yes, one of the experiments.
Pretty sure.
Keep scratching my head. Scratch my face off.
Or I think it's in other. I don't remember.
So these two are excited.
Yeah,
I don't get to play with it.
Weird. Yeah, we didn't get that many review codes. We're too many in SimNation. Good enough review. But they were really nice to send over 3 instead of just 1. It makes
I'm like the number process. 2.
You're the employee
I'm
number 2?
I'm like the number 2, but technically everyone just glosses over me. Like I'm like the baby that they left.
I mean, if we would get review codes for The Sims, not that we ever would, they would go to you first.
They left me in my bassinet and just went to work, and then I magically disappeared.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun,
that reminds me, I saw it's so funny. It was either on Facebook and the Sims Facebook page. This person posted this horrible story about just the fucked up things that happen in the Sims. I think it was in Sims 3. She was talking about how her family left the house to go on a date or go to work or something, and they hired a babysitter, and then the babysitter came and literally carried their child to the edge of a beach or something and dropped the baby in the water, and then the baby disappeared.
In The Sims 3?
I think in Sims 3. So basically the babysitter just went and murdered their child, and it disappeared forever. They couldn't...
Is it showing up but they couldn't click it, or it disappeared out of the family?
It disappeared out of the family.
Yep, she murdered him.
I was like, oh my God, why would you have something in the game like that? The babysitter shouldn't be able to take the baby just randomly out of the house.
But there are many
it's an NPC.
I understand how it works.
Yes.
Good job.
How does it work?
I understand how it works.
How?
Well, because all of the planets keep changing their orbital parent and the relative body to them, so they're using...
I heard too much accent there.
They're using the gravitational pull from each other because they're always the same amount away. So when...
Okay.
It's something we use when launching satellites into far orbit, because when they get close to each other, when they're when they're not in the 8-figure, when they're on one side of the 8-figure, they propel each other. And then because this one is propelled to this side and the other one comes into the middle, it pulls this one back in and goes back down, and then it just propels it around again. And the middle one.
That's how they stay going like this.
There you have it.
It's like a gravity ejection.
Yeah.
Physics explained by Jan.
I just needed to see it.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, well, this is either with a lot of patience or a lot of math, because I guess it has to be like perfect, because the moment you screw up like a comma there, it just leaves.
Yeah, because
we do
a similar thing where launching probes and objects into the far reaches of the solar system, you would often slingshot it around one of the other planets by using its gravity. So it would come into its gravity, try to get into orbit, but because it comes in too fast, it just slingshot it in the direction you want it to. And there's a lot of math involved in those. I know we did it with the Voyager probes.
Could you like mimic the Big Bang and like create the universe?
Not really. I've been trying to get it after a supernova for the gases to combine back together and form a solar system, but I think I just need the simulation to run for a while longer. Should technically be able to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you cannot even click a supernova when it's happening.
Yeah, but the supernova releases a bunch of gases and it keeps expanding. So at some point...
We're actually looking at that right now.
At some point, if, like, for example, you put a star in the middle, it should start pulling those back in and creating first small rocky objects that then collide together and planets.
Because right now, I mean, I actually have a sun put in the middle of it, and it's just like, I'm just on vacations. My temperature's fine, you know. It's like ignoring it.
Well, the star, eventually, though, you've got to...
It could be it's not in the actual simulation that the supernova could collapse into a new solar system, but in theory it should.
Is there a way to change, like, well, because with stars, I mean, it's like the sun isn't going to explode for like, what, 100 million billion years or whatever. It's like age.
Years, apparently.
Isn't it like age dependent? Now you have to make sure that the star is at the end of its life.
Oh yeah, you could just change the age of the star.
And
make it supernova.
One. Yeah, like that.
By using by basically using up all its hydrogen and then collapsing into each other, and then that's how it works. But you should technically have a remnant of a star in the middle, which you don't get, and you can't click on the supernova, which is not fun.
Yeah, you can't click it. I love to inspect it as it's happening. You know. Like,
I do
this
like
is all
to
the
make things
materials.
explode and then zoom out. And
yeah, you have to keep zooming out to see it.
30 seconds later, it just fills the screen again, and you zoom out a bit more.
Yes.
And it's
like
continual expansion.
Like, I don't know how many years, like 20,000 years, I think it's expanding. I mean, at least on the ones I made. It's a long time.
Yeah, but
you get impatient after 5 minutes of waiting at the dentist's office. And this is 20,000 years.
But as I said, technically, if you put a strong star in the middle, like Vega or Sirius, it should start pulling those gases back in, but it doesn't seem to. So I'll keep experimenting with it. And, you know, eventually, guys, if you're good, I'll make a video for you.
Add in the ability to create planets from exploding stars.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
That'd be beautiful. That'd be amazing. If you could just keep exploding stuff.
I've noticed. At least I haven't noticed it, but like if you take Earth and put realistic rings around it and put the moon in, those will collide, but I haven't seen the moon either get bigger or fragments get created, or
that is something that has been
colliding together into small moons. And
yeah, I was expecting, like I kept shooting Earth to the Earth. You know, you can just shoot stuff to it, and it was like just becoming hotter and hotter, but it was never growing or splitting or anything. That is something that is completely missing, because, I mean, the mass just completely disappeared the moment it touched, like, the other Earth, basically. I mean, otherwise there should be, like, big fragments around or something.
Should be fragments around. The orbit does change.
Yeah, and there are small fragments, but that's it.
They're just tiny shoot off.
Yeah.
But it's just,
Yeah, but I mean, if I shoot 10 Earths to the Earth should grow. Or there should be more than one around, like our various sizes of different things, but it shouldn't always be just one thing of the same size always.
Yeah, and the fragments don't seem to be caught in the orbit of the sun afterwards, which I also find weird, because you can just shoot things out and like you collide two things and it never catches into the orbit of the sun like it should, because that's how comets are created, and asteroid belts. But it just doesn't do that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if they will be adding it or not, but it's alpha, so it's alpha. So yeah. By the way, if you're watching this is not our official review. We're just talking about it on the podcast, but we're gonna have a quick look coming out this week, hopefully. So yep, I may actually include this.
Really,
this is actually a good talk. Yeah, it is. It is really fun to play with. It's really good.
It's incredibly fun to play with. And the old one isn't actually that expensive. I can check how much it is on Steam right now. But
I like to highlight what you said. It's not. It is incredibly fun to play with, because you wouldn't expect something like this to be actually entertaining, right? Like, oh no, it's edu software. It's trying to educate me. Get away from me. This is America. But no, this is actually like interesting. Yeah.
It's so fun to play. The old one, you can't buy Universe Sandbox 2 yet. It is on Steam, but you can't buy it. You can put it on your wish list and you'll be notified when it comes out. The old one is €10, which is about 12 or 13 bucks.
Can't you donate? Can't you buy the second one? I think you could. To get into the alpha. It's on the website.
It isn't showing on Steam.
It's not
I'm
on
guessing
Steam.
It's not greenlit. It is on Steam. There is
Yeah.
a page on Steam. It just has no price. You can't donate. But if you go to their website, I think you can still donate to the project. It's an amazing fun thing to do, because I think at some point all of us just want to blow up stuff, and that's why it's fun to do. And if you're a little bit into physics and how the universe works, it's also quite fun to play with. It just try to create your own solar system. I did it 7 times.
Get instant access to the Universe Sandbox Square Alpha on Steam and pre-order the finished game, $25. So you can donate now. You get access to the alpha, and you just have it for whenever it's released, regardless of the price on release. So okay.
And as we said, we were very lucky, and we thank the developers for giving us some review codes. And it's been an amazing, fun thing to play. I sat here for a few hours playing with it, and
Me too.
I all of a sudden looked out, and it was like, oh, it's dark.
It's dark, and it's not the space this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows it's in alpha. It does need a little bit more optimization. If you put in too many objects, it does tend to slow down your computer quite a bit. The simulation doesn't run smoothly anymore. But the simulation auto changes its speed. So if if you have 75 moons orbiting the Earth, it won't render it at 15 days per second, but it will render it at, I don't know,
5
an hour per second.
Oh yeah.
But it's incredibly fun to play with.
Yeah, it also slows down if you zoom in like into the sun or something. For some reason, the effects going on there or something, but it just, in my case, just drops the frame rate when it's too close.
But I don't know. I've had fun with it. There's a bunch of pre-made objects. You can make your own objects. You have some fantasy objects like the dices and tennis balls, and I think there's a teapot in there and stuff like that. But you have the stars that are in there that I remember are, of course, our own sun. Then you have Vega, Sirius, XV Major, and a few others. Then you have some galaxies that you can bash together. You have black holes, which I haven't quite figured out how they work. But I don't know. It's just fun.
But by the way, the big stars are really scary to me. Just placing it right next to Earth and going like, shit, we're small. Like it scares the crap out of me. You have no idea.
There's even even Earth compared to our sun is incredibly small.
Yes, it's like 10,000 times smaller. I don't know. And
there are these. If you want to make an accurate representation of the solar system, like the Earth is a tennis ball, and we are a small pea, and we're like 10 kilometers apart.
Yes.
Which By the way, Pablo, that's what you should get me for next Christmas. I want
peas.
A model of the solar system.
You could just make that. That's what people make for science projects in school.
I'm not in school. I'm not making that.
You know, you get those like styrofoam balls, and then you stick them with some string, and blah blah blah.
Do they move? Do they collide?
I want Pablo to buy me a mechanical one.
No, a mechanical one. You should get like
I'll buy you one with
sculpture,
own gravity.
Really unlock your inner artistic side and like make like a sculpture, like with metal. Like make one from cookies.
I have no artistic talent.
You can get the cookies with the holes in the middle and stick them on your fingers, and then be like, solar system cookie.
And that's when you're sent to special school.
And then you eat them.
All right. Well,
we're all
if there's
special.
Anything else you want to talk about, is there anything? Because we're fine with the time. Like, we can wrap it up.
No, there's nothing.
All right.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for the Paradox podcast. We've been told that there's a dev diary tomorrow. I think I can say that. And so we're going to do a video. So it's going to be out. Well, the dev diaries are on Tuesdays always, and this comes out on Tuesday. We record on Mondays. And then the Paradox podcast that we do, City Skylines podcast, is going to be out, on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So make sure to watch that. There's going to be a new news. We don't know what it's about, but we are being told that there's a new one.
Yes.
And if you like our City Skylines podcast, make sure to also go, if you when you're watching this and when you see it, go over to the youtube.com/paradox extra and make sure to click the like button and, say, oh, Pablo and Jan are awesome. They should do more of these.
Totally. Upvote us in the Paradox version of our video. Yeah.
And as always, it's released on our channel and on their channel, and they've been very, very, very generous and forthcoming with information for us and really helpful. So we thank Paradox for everything.
And we didn't sell out. We still call out what's wrong. So.
Yeah, and I personally have to thank Pablo, because if I wasn't invited on this podcast and to participate in SimNation, I would never have gotten to work with Paradox ever.
That's so sweet.
I think that's about it for our podcast this week, because there wasn't any news and it's after the holiday seasons and me and Farhan are both kind of ill.
Yeah. But we love to entertain you.
Yeah, we're just going to wrap up. So do make sure to upvote this, give it a like, leave comments below if there's any games you want us to check out for a review or a sort of quick test, and has anything even remotely to do with simulation or strategy, just put it in the comments below. We'll take a look at those. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media, which is what do we have, Pablo?
Twitter.
We have Twitter.
SimNation TV.
Our website. SimNation.tv website. Yes. Don't forget to go on the forums and engage in conversations. Follow us here on YouTube. Subscribe if you don't yet. And make sure to follow us on the Twitch, because me and Fallon, are we going to be streaming this week again?
Yeah, we stream on Thursdays.
Yeah,
yes.
We will be streaming on Thursday. So
I want to watch that.
Well, Fallon will be streaming. I'm just there for a good time.
Just like,
and I still have to work in somehow streaming some other kind of game.
We because this comes out on Tuesday. If you're watching this on Tuesday or Wednesday or very early Thursday, leave a comment below if there's any other games you would like us to play. If you want us to play something else other than The Sims, otherwise we're going to do The Sims again. There's a bunch of games you can play. We can play like Dragon Age and. What else? What else can we play?
We can play Portal. We can play Borderlands. We can play any game that's free. I'll download. And yeah, I have Dragon Age. Although I'm almost at the end. I'm at the Lands Meet. So then I go to Dragon Age 2. I'm going to be the queen. That's all I got to say about that.
So yeah, if you don't know what else to do The Sims, make sure to leave it in the comments below, and we'll figure something else out. Otherwise, we're going to do The Sims and maybe shoot some Sims into space again.
Woo!
Pablo should buy another copy of Tropico, and then the two of us or three of us can play Tropico together.
I'm scared of
Try to gang up on Jan.
I feel like he wants to destroy us. We need to ally.
That's why we have to form a secret alliance.
Look at his evil
against
smile.
Jan. He's so evil looking right now.
Wait, can you have 3 people playing at the same time?
It's up to 4 people.
Yes, up to 4 people, Pablo.
That doesn't sound good.
Secret alliance.
Can we do Age of Empires 2? I feel more confident there.
It'd be like a Survivor. We need to have like a Survivor edition of voting people out. Well, you're getting attacked this week. Sorry.
Wait. How long is the match on Tropical 5? Would it be like
however
days?
long we make it?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think it's like time like
There's
that.
no time limit.
You can either work together or you can work against each other.
It's until someone wins.
We need to get one more on SimNation.
Until Jan has stepped over our bones and crushed us into the ground. Don't look at me with that evil face.
It's like he's been waiting for this his entire life.
I'm just a poor innocent dictator.
If I play Star Trek Online, I blow up the Borg. If I play EU4, I conquer the world. It's my destiny to be an evil communist ruler.
You're supposed to blow up the Borg. They're evil.
Not all Borg.
The Borg in general.
The Borg.
7 of 9 was an exception.
Well, yes, but this is set 30 years after Voyager, which means they're good Borg in there.
Oh.
I do want to blow them up still, but
I know.
not allowing me to.
I know Star Trek. And I know Star Wars too.
Dun, dun, dun. And that's all for this
nerding
week.
Out.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and everything like Jan said. And I have nothing more to add, so I'm gonna pour myself some mate so I can drink it because I haven't drinking mate in a very long while. I'm kidding. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Oh, this is the most satisfying thing ever. We are God in SimCity 4. Wow, that was loud. Oh, you're gonna eat that, huh? You're gonna eat it. I see. What? Nothing. Okay.
And now she is tossing that salad with her... Stop sticking your finger in your ear! Alright, she's tossing the salad with her earwax.
It does.
It does really well. Okay.
Oh, they're coming for you, Pablo!
Shit,
Run!
Oh, yeah. These road trips, man, are killing me. Anyway, let me know whenever we are recording. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Extended Play. I'm your host, this is Stuart, and that is a fancy, fancy sign. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.